Hi Pisces, it's been a while, but I am back and I'm going to do a quick reading for you to see what is coming up. What you need to know basically. So, we're going to start with some Enchanted Forrest Oracles. What happens? Thank you, Spirit. What messages do you have for our Piscean friends? All right, Pisces. What does Pisces need to know? What does Pisces need to know, please? What does Pisces need to know that they don't see coming? Okay. Okay, Pisces. So we've got Silent Watcher. Interesting. Think before making decisions. Okay, Pisces. So if you're feeling a little impulsive, maybe slow down a little bit. Consider all consequences. We've got Forest Goddess. Look how cute. Honor your emotions and allow yourself to feel deeply. Okay. Serene Sanctuary. Find peace in moments of solitude. Okay. And then Hidden Waterfall. It's pretty. Create sacred space for peace and reflection. So that kind of feels like maybe something has been going on that's disturbing your peace. And this is kind of telling me that you need to maybe do some things, maybe like meditate or go out in nature, maybe take a walk, take a hike, do something to ground yourself so that you can kind of reclaim your energy. Maybe you've been giving your energy to something that's not good. Let's try Moonology too, just to see what happens. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. What messages do you have for Pisces? What would you like to share with Pisces, please? What messages do you have for... Oh, God, these fucking cards. What messages do you have for Pisces? What would you like to share? Oh, my God, my nose itches. There we go again. Okay, we have communication is key. New moon in Gemini. Oh, what does that mean? That has to mean something. You and your loved ones are safe, and that is new moon in Cancer. Why does everyone think Cancer is so safe? We're not all that safe. Nothing is yet set in stone. I feel like, I don't know if I shuffled all these correctly. I feel like these are the same ones I already got for a reading. You know what? Let's scratch this. Nope. I'm not going to use those because I feel like they didn't get shuffled right. We'll do supernatural instead. Okay. Let's see what happens. Okay. Okay, supernatural. What do you have to share with Pisces, please? Ooh, Dean Winchester looking good. And then Metatron. Anything else you have to share with Pisces? All right, let's see what we've got. Okay, so first we've got disaster. Dean Winchester. Life is full of unknowns, and we're so used to immediate answers that we sometimes disregard the lessons to be learned during the period of discovery. Embrace your inquisitive hunter side, leave no stone unturned, and don't forget the pie. Okay, well, those are references to the show, but anyway. Okay, so, don't always be so focused on immediate answers, I guess. That's the message. Okay, have patience. Metatron. Okay. So Metatron, he says, have you been so focused on a goal that you've unintentionally alienated yourself? Take time today to reach out to your people and remind them how much they mean to you. When Metatron's grace was taken, making him human, he was humbled and he told God that he was wrong about humanity. He shared that humanity has weaknesses, but also gives, creates, sings, dances, and loves. It's okay to work diligently when shaping your future, but don't forget to make pit stops to sing and dance along the way. Okay. All right. So you're clearly focused on something, and maybe you've just been neglecting yourself in kind of your pursuit for some goal that you have, I guess. So maybe just be patient. Like I said, take some time to yourself, go for a walk, go for a hike, experience nature, and just chill out a little bit. Do some self-care, do some meditating, do a soak in the tub with some salts or something like that. Ground yourself. I don't know where the last one is. Okay. I feel like these are kind of weirdly insightful just to be like a jokey, supernatural based card deck. Okay, so this one's I can't speak. Leviathan Blossom. Okay, you're in a transition phase of your life. The old ways of behaving or thinking no longer serve you, and it's time to release them and embrace your new strength of character. Repeating the same patterns and hoping for a different result is holding you back. Let go of limiting beliefs that you don't have what it takes or you're not good enough and replace them with emboldened thoughts. Believe that with time and dedication, anything is possible and you will rise from the ashes of your past like the radiant phoenix you were born to be. Oh, that's nice. What is it that you're so focused on? I'm really interested to know. Let's see if we can find out. I'm going to use this deck this time. Okay. And half of these are upside down already, so I'm not going to read reversals because they're so, whatever. Oh my God. Worst shuffle possible. That is getting a redo. It's not that serious. Remember, whatever comes out, you always have free will. This is just kind of like reading current energies. It's not set in stone. You always can make your own choices. Thank you, Spirit. What advice do you have for Pisces today? What advice would you like to share with Pisces? Oof. Okay. Four of Wands. What advice would you like to share with Pisces? What advice would you like to share with Pisces, please? Interesting. Okay. Okay, so we have the Four of Wands first, and that is a card of union, of coming together. It's a card of, you see two people holding hands. It could be a card of marriage. It could be a card of, a relationship. And then the Wands, it's kind of like 11-11 because the Four Wands. So it's kind of a lucky card. So yeah, it's like a card of union, basically. So it's like you're coming into union, or maybe you were recently, you had some kind of relationship, but then, so the next card is the Five of Cups. So that's a loss in their cups. So it's a relationship. So some kind of union, some kind of partnership you feel has been lost, or maybe it ended because you're feeling sad about it. Like, this person is clearly not happy. They're looking at the ground. They're in a black cloak. So I don't know, maybe you broke up with someone, or just, you experienced some kind of ending with some kind of relationship. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be any kind of relationship. It could be the loss of a friend. Maybe you had a falling out with some kind of friend, but recently you have experienced some kind of loss. But yeah, but then after the loss, it looks like you recovered, or you are in the process of recovering, because now we've got the Fool, and the Fool is ready, to take a leap of faith. He's just gonna fly right off that cliff. He's gonna go toward whatever he wants, whatever he's thinking about. He's just gonna not even look where he's going. But maybe that's not the correct energy to be in. Yet sometimes risks are worth taking for sure. But I think we had a card earlier that, it was actually the very first card. It said think before making decisions. And this is a card that is not thinking before they're making decisions. So don't get too caught up in whatever it is you're trying to pursue that you are not making good decisions. So maybe don't leap off that cliff into the unknown until you have all the facts. And then after that, we have the Star, which is a card of healing and hope, basically. So whatever it was that you have before, whatever that relationship was that you lost, that you're feeling bad about, and now you're just in such a rush to make yourself feel better about that loss, that you're just gonna leap toward the first thing that comes around, or the first person that comes around, to make yourself feel better. And I feel like that is a very human thing to do. When you lose something, you don't want to feel that anymore. You don't want to feel that hurt anymore. And you feel like the only way to maybe make it better is to replace it immediately with something else. And that's not always the answer. So this card could tell me that you are still healing and you need to do some healing. Like I said, do some self-care, do some healing, do some meditation, have a walk. But you are healing and you do have hope, Just move forward with caution, I think, is the message. Is just don't, leap off into the unknown. And then we have the Page of Cups was on the bottom of the deck. So that could be someone that's coming towards you with a romantic offer. It could be someone that is coming towards you with an apology. So maybe the loss that you felt before, the person that, or whatever that was, the relationship that ended for whatever reason, because I don't know why the ending happened, but maybe that person needs to apologize, or maybe you feel like they need to apologize. Okay, let's see. What else would you like to share with Pisces, please? What else would you like to share with Pisces? Okay, so we've got the Queen of Cups. That's major, or like the minor arcana. Well, it's really for any water sign, really. It's not, I was going to say for Cancer, but it's not. It is for Cancer, for the minor arcana. So that could mean that whoever you're dealing with is a Cancer. It could mean that whoever you're dealing with or thinking about is a fellow water sign. Or it could mean the person that needs to apologize to you is a water sign. But whoever it is, it looks like they're going to be communicating with you soon. Coming in hot. Coming in fast. Yeah. And that came out with the Five of Cups. So it might be the person that you lost that is going to circle back around to communicate with you in some kind of way. And then maybe that's the decision you have to make, whether you leap forward with them or you don't take that step. That's your decision. What else would you like to share, please? Okay, so we've got the Knight of Swords. So he's got a message, and swords are thoughts. So this is coming in fast. Again, like the Eight of Wands is fast movement, and then the Knight of Swords is fast movement. So he's got something to say. Somebody has something to say to you. And it might be, like I said, an apology. Okay. And then we've got the Moon. So that could tell me that there's something that you don't know, something that's unknown. It could also tell me that you need to trust your intuition, your gut feeling. If you're feeling like you just want to take a risk, some risks are good, some risks are worth taking, but I feel like the kind of general message is, you know, take a step back and think about it before you make any major decisions. But let's do some clarifying here. I'm going to use a different deck to clarify why some of these things are here. Why is the Fool here? Interesting. Okay. 8 of Wands again. Okay. So something's happening quick, or somebody's making a move towards you quickly. I don't know if it's a past person. I don't know if it's a new person. Why is the... Oh, I barely even got that out of my mouth. I've got the Page of Swords. I was going to ask why is the Fool here. We've got the Page of Swords. So maybe someone is watching you. Maybe someone is kind of keeping tabs on you from afar. It's definitely a person that has not moved on from you, from the, you know, the past relationship that you had that you lost. That person could be stalking you online, could be looking at your stories and whatnot, your Facebook, trying to see like what you're up to. Maybe, like I said, asking friends about you. Why is the Star here? Why is the Star card here? Four of Cups. Okay, so that could be, that's somebody that's not satisfied. It could also be unrequited love. So maybe what you're healing from, because you're in the Star energy right now, maybe what you're healing from is a situation where you were giving to another person and they weren't giving you enough back, or maybe they weren't giving you anything back and it was just very one-sided. Why is the Star here? Somebody was unsatisfied. It could have been you, could have been them. Okay, then we've got the World. Okay, so that's a good. So you're in the Star energy, you're healing from something that was unsatisfying to you. And then the World is a card of endings and new beginnings. So the old situation is over. You're mourning the loss. You're clearly sad about it. But you are moving forward. You're ready to take a leap towards something else. Cautious leap. Once you have all the information, you're healing. And then you've got a new beginning. A new cycle is starting for you. Okay. Now we've got the Moon. So I want to see... I want to clarify all of these. What is it that Pisces doesn't see that they need to know? What is hidden here? Knight of Wands. So that can sometimes be, it's a fiery energy, so you could be dealing with an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. It could be, sometimes people think it's like a player, so it could be somebody that's in and out of your life that kind of like runs in, is passionate for a little bit, and then leaves again. So that could tell me that the person that hurt you, that you were in an unsatisfying relationship with, for whatever reason it was unsatisfying, they might be returning. It could also be a new person who's just fiery and passionate, but maybe they only want the fire and the passion. They don't want anything meaningful. They just want sex, which has its place. So maybe that's what you want. Okay. What about, actually, why is the Moon here? Let me go ahead and ask that again because I want more than that. Why is the Moon here, please? Please clarify why the Moon is here. Okay, so you've got the Seven of Cups. All right, so that can be an illusion. It can also be a choice that you have to make. So maybe whoever this Knight of Wands is, you're going to have a choice between that person or possibly another suitor, or maybe just, you know, the choice between whether or not you want to move forward with that person. So that could be your choice here. Yeah, okay. Let's see, we had that Eight of Wands twice. So that tells me that whatever's happening, whoever is coming forward, whoever's coming back around or coming towards you, it should be somebody that you're hearing from pretty soon. And we've also got the Knight of Swords, 3 cards of like fast motion. So I feel like maybe the Queen of Cups is you here because you're a water sign. So the Queen of Cups can also represent you as well. Why is the Knight of Swords here? Okay, 8 of Pentacles. So you could be getting some kind of message. This might be totally different from the first message. This could be having something to do with your job or your finances. Maybe you're getting some kind of message in regard to your job, because that's a card of like putting in effort and just wanting to work on something. So you could be getting a new job, or you could just be maybe leveling up at your current job. Maybe you're getting a promotion. Why is the Knight of Swords here? Queen of Pentacles, okay. And then the Eight of Swords. All right. Yeah. I feel like you are trapped in your thoughts a little bit. Like you don't know whether or not you should, like in this full energy, take that risk. And you're just kind of stuck. You're not moving forward. And then also here, there's something maybe with your job. So I feel like there's maybe two things here. Some is about possibly romance, and then something is about material things in your job. So yeah, so maybe a couple different things. A lot of things to think about here. But I would just say, like I said earlier, think before making any big decisions here. There's some things that you don't know, and you're going to have some choices. It looks like you're going to have some choices in romance, maybe even some choices in your career, but don't just be too hasty, and don't just make choices without having all the facts. Just be cautious with anything that you do right now. Okay. Well, I don't know if that was helpful. I hope that it was. I know it's getting a little long here and my freaking phone's going to die. So, yeah, well, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Have a great rest of your day.